What is going on, everyone? Welcome to this blog and or vlog of the Martinez. So I don't know if you guys know this, but I did start a podcast, and if you're not already following, go ahead and do me a quick favor, click and subscribe. Just I don't, I'm not, I'm brand new at this, so why lie? But you can go ahead and click and subscribe, and you'll get updates on upcoming podcasts or upcoming vlogs. I tried to say that at the same time, right? But you're gonna get upcoming information, data, that or content that I'm gonna be providing for the audience, the public, future clients. You know, but today's vlog is I'm gonna try to make it short and sweet. You can read the blog post. The blog post is very informative. Today we're gonna be talking about seller concessions. Now, this is a preview to an upcoming podcast that I do have coming up with another agent from the office. We're gonna go ahead and talk about the advantages and strategic advantages for either a seller coming in with seller concessions or a buyer asking for seller concessions, and how that benefits the buyer and even how it benefits the seller. And it really benefits the buyer in the terms like, oh, hey, by the way, I can buy down my, those are some discount points or something to that effect. Or maybe they don't need the discount points because they know they're going to refinance it here in the near future. But maybe they deem that maybe I can use that for some of the seller concessions. But I think the biggest reason why people are asking for these seller concessions is to buy down the rate in a very competitive market today, especially for sellers that are competing in a near a construction, a new neighborhood. That is where you want to be competitive, and you start to think of different ways to be competitive to be able to sell your home because you need to move, but at the same time you don't want to lower your price, 10, 15, $20,000 in sales price because you're negotiating. Instead, you may want to offer the seller concessions, and that's where me and my colleague in a couple of weeks, a couple of months actually, we're gonna go ahead and get together. We're gonna discuss this in more detail. But for now, I wanted to provide this blog post to you and this vlog to give you some information. If you have any more questions about that, just feel free to reach out. You got my information at all times. You got my email, Luciano at martinezrgvhomes.com. You got my phone number, 956-476 2925. You can reach me at my personal line, 956-862-1556. You can comment on the post below. If you have questions about how this works or what it is exactly, feel free to reach out. Now, this doesn't mean that you're gonna be selling your house at a higher price or lower price. This just means, for example, if you're trying to sell your house at 250, you're in a competitive market where there's new constructions that are being built at, I don't know, say 245, 250, 255 in the same price range as you might be able to offer these, $5,000, $10,000 in seller concessions. And that's the idea. And don't come down in the sales price, but rather offer them an affordable method to get into the property. Now, real quickly, I'll show you what a scenario looks like. This is a scenario that, this is using a USDA loan, but it's essentially the same idea. USDA loans are 100% finance. This is a person that's got a 670 credit score and has about $3,000 in assets. In scenario A, scenario B, price of the home is 250, but instead of going down to 240, you decide, we'll go ahead and offer you $10,000 in seller concessions. The buyer can go ahead and buy down the rate. The cost of the rate cost him $7,000. He still had $3,000 in seller concessions. His payment now is $1,779. The out-of-pocket cost is about $2,000. Again, this is just a scenario, an example of what we're talking about when we're talking about seller concessions. Scenario B, hey, you didn't want to give him seller concessions, so you decided to come down on sales price instead. He couldn't buy down the interest rate, so he kept it at 7.125. All right, cost of the rate cost him $3,000. Payment now comes up to $1,854, and the out-of-pocket cost was $8,000. This is where a buyer is hesitant to move forward, because now it's not beneficial and he cannot get into this house. It's not affordable. That's so much beneficial. It's now not affordable. And that's the idea behind seller credit. Give me a call if you have any questions about this, 956-476-2925 or 956-862-1556. Talk to you soon.